Hey, everybody. Do you ever feel like you're speaking projector, but the world only speaks generator?
Yes, I often feel like we're on a completely different wavelength from everyone else, and honestly, sometimes even ourselves.
But that's why we're here every Monday. Welcome to Projectors in the Wild, sharing our raw truth about life, parenthood, and business as projectors navigating this generator world.
Oh, hi, folks. I'm Heather Vickery. I'm a transformational success coach, author, and I help folks like you who are conscious leaders lead from joy because when joy is your foundation and not your destination, everything shifts.
And I'm Natalie Barnett, a success coach helping business owners blast through their blocks to unlock their potential.
Natalie, we got to get real. As projectors, we are natural guides and we're leaders, but we're not followers. And on this show, you and I, we spill all the tea. We talk about the wins, the mess ups, the what just happened moments.
We have lots of those. Whether you are a projector ready to own your own magic or just trying to understand your projector people, grab a seat. The ride is about to get wild.
It's about to get wild. I don't know if everybody else thinks it's wild, but I do.
It feels wild. It feels like oh my gosh, this like visual of like being on a rocket ship, like sitting on a rocket ship being like, "Whoa!" Like seriously sometimes like, "What? What's going on? Where are we going? And why
Where
is
are we
everybody
going?
acting crazy? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills."
I love that description so much. Yeah, it feels wild. Um, Also, the other thing that feels wild that we do, and I'm so proud of us, because we do it every week, is we're really not perfect in this space.
No.
There's
Newsflash.
there's not a we don't prep for it.
No.
We just are like we're gonna show up and we're gonna talk and we're gonna be honest and whatever comes up is what comes up and it's not polished, it's just super, super honest, and that feels wild in a world that feels so manufactured all the time.
100%. I love that for us though. I think it's
I do too.
it's more fun and I like it better. I don't there's something to be said for prepping for things. Some things you prep for, right?
Yeah,
But for this, we just
yeah,
have to show up. It's just going to be more real and more raw. And we called it Projectors in the Wild for a reason.
we
It's
did.
more raw.
Yeah, yeah, more raw. We do have to prep for things. I just finished wrapping the VIP Abundance Challenge workshop for the people who
Mhm.
participated in my Abundance Challenge, and I prepped for that.
Yeah.
But I think it's a nice reminder that we don't have to always have a plan. We don't have to always have it figured out. Like
Mhm.
sometimes you can just show up and it'll be okay.
Yeah, I agree. And that's kind of it feels like too just hanging out with, a friend that gets it. You're gonna have stuff to don't worry, we will have stuff to talk about.
We definitely will. We will always have stuff to talk about. So I just realized that, see, we're not perfect. I forgot to put the Projectors in the Wild branding on, but I'm going to put it
Oh,
on right now.
it's okay. I
So
was
there you
making sure
go.
I went on a bike ride with my daughter. This
Right.
is on the weird but anyway, so
It won't.
I had a mark on my forehead from my helmet.
Oh,
Like this
I love that you are wearing one. I can, the good thing you have, I
bang.
can't, it won't show up. Yeah, you have bangs now. It's not, it won't let me change it, you guys. Mercury is such a bitch. She's
I
in
know.
retrograde. It will literally not let me change it. So, okay.
Well,
Sorry. It's just us today. No
okay.
branding. That is so odd. I'm proud of you for wearing a helmet.
I know, well, I just like, I really need to protect my brain.
Yeah, you do. You protect that beautiful brain. I
Okay,
love that.
so how are you spending your birthday? Happy birthday.
Thank you. Today is my birthday, and I am really like going all in. Every time it comes up, I go, "It's my 50th. I'm
Yeah,
50 today. It's my
yes,
50th birthday today."
yes. I have a client in my mini mind who turned 50 today also.
Oh,
Yeah.
another badass
Oh, yeah, she's a reflector.
Sagittarius. So that's interesting.
Mhm.
I would love to see her chart because I thought I was a reflector at first, but I had made a mistake putting my time in.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah,
Reflectors are so rare,
I know.
but I resonated with a lot. And if I look at my chart. So in Genetic Matrix, which is the software I use,
Mhm.
I can look at just my conscious side and just my design side. And I'm a reflector on both of them if you're just looking at one. But when you put them together, it makes me a projector.
Interesting. Okay. That's so cool. But I
Yeah.
kind of interrupted you. So you were
Oh,
telling me
no.
what you're
It's
saying about
okay.
your birth. Like, what are you doing?
Oh, well, so it's been a really busy day. There has been a lot of work, and I have my first Empower breakfast on Friday. So I'm officially in the not sleep because this event is coming phase. And also this morning I was like, oh my God, now I have to do this every month. What did I sign up for? The projector
Yeah.
in me was like, what did you do? Why
Yeah.
did you do that?
Yeah. I know what you mean. What did you do?
This is a big event. You're supposed to have 70 to 90 people there every month. What if they what? What if they don't like it? And then the imposter syndrome, I was like, oh God, I don't think I can do this. I gotta get out of this, which is all dumb. But
Yeah, I know. It's just like the fear, but you're gonna rock it.
Oh,
You're gonna be so good at this. Like
thank you.
your space is beautiful, by the way.
Thanks.
I
I wish
love
you were coming. I wish because you and a couple of other area director friends or people have become friends. And I was like, I wish you guys could just come and support me
I know, I know. I'm like, how can I get to Chicago?
for Friday. No pressure. Friday morning, 9
Yeah,
a.m.
dance rehearsal, dance recital all weekend. This is not gonna. Yeah, I'm not.
That's not going to happen. It's okay. It's all right. It's just me being a big baby. No, so my birthday at working, and then all my girls are home. So everybody's coming for dinner, and my oldest gets to put her ornaments on the Christmas tree.
Yay.
And my 15-year-old offered, well, I asked, I said, for my birthday, will you make dinner? She said, sure. I said, what are you going to make? She goes, I can make anything. Just tell me what to make, which she can't. Um, but we've got all these different appetites to please. Everybody's
Oh,
very
yeah.
picky, and everyone's like, "Well, it's your birthday. Have what you want." And then it occurred to me, the perfect answer is breakfast for dinner because
Yeah.
the kids really can make that.
Yep.
So they're gonna do waffles and eggs and turkey bacon and fruit, and
That
then we'll
sounds
play
great.
games. And then on Saturday, the 14th, my parents are coming in, and my best friend and her family and my kids, and we're all going to go out to dinner. But I didn't want a big birthday party. I really I did. My mom wanted to do that. I know she
Really.
did, but I was like, I just don't. I just don't want anything super big.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I get it. Well, you get to celebrate it the way that you want to.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, but it's good. It's weird. Um, it feels weird.
Hmm.
Not bad. It's not
Right.
bad. I don't have a problem with it. My kids think that I have a problem with aging because I have talked about it a lot. But I've talked about it a lot because it's just a very interesting reflective space. I don't feel as old as 50 sounds. I don't
Yeah.
think I look as old as in my
No.
brain 50 is supposed to be, but all my 50-year-old friends, I love you and you all look gorgeous. Like it's not the same as it used
Yeah.
to be.
Yeah.
Um, it just is odd. And there's just been for me a tremendous amount of reflection.
Hmm. Hmm.
Tremendous amount. The newsletter that went out earlier today to my community was like, I feel like I've lived like four different lives in 50
Yeah.
years. And
Yeah.
I kind of have, if you look at all the chapters. And interestingly enough, we went to see Cyndi Lauper
Uh-huh.
on Thursday last week, and it was amazing. She's 71.
Really? Wow.
She was like rolling around on the floor and dancing. And I was like, my mom's 71. Mom, if you're watching this, I love you. But she can barely walk from the kitchen to the bedroom. So,
I know.
like, it was amazing. But she talked about the chapters, all of the different chapters in
Mm.
our lives and how we close one and we move into another one. And it was a really interesting reflective space. And what was showing up for me is so many of the choices that I made, like as a young mother, that I really was doing the very best. I thought I was doing really
Yeah.
the very best thing. But turns out sometimes I wasn't.
Hmm.
And sometimes those things are misguided. And no matter what my intentions were, there
Yeah.
was harm caused. And my children are
Right.
safe and loved and all of that. But
Yeah.
nonetheless, and so just acknowledging that and eh, apologizing, sort of blanket apologizing, but not I don't the person who needs to forgive me is me, is really what that'll
Yeah.
boil down to.
Yeah. That's so beautiful. Yeah, I love these milestones because you get to reflect back on. I don't know that everybody does, but I don't know. But you have the opportunity to look at things and see where you
Yeah.
want to, like, what do you want to change? Like, who do you want to be? I feel like it's more of like, who do you want to be energy,
Yeah. 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 And next, who do you want to be right now and moving
Yeah.
forward?
Yeah.
Because you're not stuck.
You're not stuck. That's a thing because your ego wants you to believe that you're stuck, right? Like it really wants you to believe that so that you stay safe and don't change anything.
Yeah.
And I have to remind myself of that and reminding clients of that. I know that there's no one like mantra or affirmation or advice that works for everybody in every situation and every season, but one that I come back to a lot for myself is nothing will make you feel better except doing the work, whatever the work is.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a hypnosis, maybe it's a walk, maybe it's a workout, maybe it's writing the email, maybe it's making that post, maybe it's reaching out to that client, reaching out to that scary person, like whatever it is, the thing you know that you need to do and will move the needle forward for who you want to be, but you just don't, you just keep overthinking it. Like just who like getting it doing that work is what will make then you're like, oh, it's over, it's done. I
Yeah.
don't even know where that
Yep.
came from anyway.
No, but I appreciate that because I think it's really true. And as projectors, that I think, I don't know, we get in our way
Mm-hmm,
with the work,
mm-hmm,
with
mm-hmm.
the were we invited to do the work? I don't, what if they don't like it? That fear of being seen
Yes, yeah, I
or
mean,
fear of not being seen.
right, yeah. Putting it out there like nothing happening, that's like almost worse. For a projector, I think.
Well,
um
that feels like the story of my life these days. If I'm being super honest, I feel
yeah,
like I'm
yeah,
putting it out there and not a fucking thing is happening. And I'm like,
yeah, yeah. And it's so that the invitation, I think oftentimes it happens with like stuff that we don't need an invitation for. Like I don't need an invitation to get on my stories and talk on my account. Like I could do
yeah,
it
you
on
don't.
my
Yeah.
account.
Yeah.
Or sending an email out to my email list. They have the option to unsubscribe. They asked to be there. I didn't like force anybody on that
That's
list.
right. Yeah.
And I've actually been talking to a couple projectors about this today. Some clients of mine of like we're overthinking it. We're too much in our minds, and we just have to like do. I was had a lot of conversations today. Had a conversation with somebody else. It's like the secret of entrepreneurship right now because it'll change in a couple weeks, right? um, is like do something, whatever, do something, and then believe in yourself. Wash, rinse, repeat. Some
Yes.
things are going to change. The thing's going to change that you're doing, but do something and believe in you.
Yeah. I don't think that's ever going to be a different advice. Like we might have other advice to add, but that advice is always the right advice.
Yeah,
Because if we wait for it to be the right thing or the perfect thing, then all you're doing is waiting.
yeah, yeah. Like waiting for the invitation is not meant to be waiting forever.
I had an invitation today. This will be interesting. I'm curious to hear what you think of this. So, in my workshop, one of the people who was there is a member of my Spark Collective, and she has been introduced to our NLP mentor as well, and has
Mm-hmm,
some subconscious reprogramming work, some limitals and some things from her. And she
mm-hmm.
goes, "But Heather, I want you to make me human design specific subliminals."
Yeah,
And I was like, wait, what? She was like, yeah. And I said, I could make blanket ones, general ones for the five types and the different
yep,
authorities and the different profile lines. And then I could offer customized ones as well. And she was like, yeah, I want you to do that. And
yeah.
I'm
She's
like,
not going to be the
oh,
only one that wants that. Other people will want
hello, invitation. Like,
that. Yeah,
that's amazing. Because my mentors, my human design mentor
mhm.
specifically has been telling me for years, you need to get into the evergreen business. You need to
Yeah,
get you got to get out of the trading time for money as a projector. It's not going to work for you.
yeah.
But I haven't been able to figure out. what that looks like
Mhm.
fully. But this was like exciting. Like I was like lit up. I'm like, I could do that.
Yes, that I think that is exactly what you should do, like, and she's not gonna be the only one that wants that,
I
you
don't think
know?
so. Yeah,
That
that was exciting.
ooh, like
She was like,
bundles, you can bundle them, like, yeah.
could bundle them. She was like, if you do a custom human design reading, you could offer it as a bump. Like,
Yes.
do you want the subliminal with it? And that would be less because a fully custom one, I think would take a little bit of time because I got to disseminate the information from somebody's chart. But if
Mhm,
it's done in conjunction with pulling their chart to read their chart,
mhm.
then it would be quicker. So I could probably charge less money because it
Yeah,
wouldn't have to go back and revisit. It was really interesting. So I'm like, oh, and I haven't had a chance yet to talk to my business manager, my online business manager, but
yeah,
I'm excited about this because I think it could be a lot of fun.
see, fun.
I
Like that
know.
like, make it fun too,
Yeah.
that is so key. I if it's not fun, I can't now,
Yeah.
okay, that doesn't mean, like, I have to be having fun at every minute, all the time.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
in general, like, your offers at least really need to be fun, or else you're not
Yeah,
gonna make
they need to feel fun and they need to be
yeah,
fun to talk about because I can talk because it's the human
mhm,
design and the NLP stuff, which
yes,
is I'm always working. Like I bring all those things in together. So
yep,
all of those anytime somebody's working with me, they get them, but I don't always get an opportunity to talk about how they play with each other. So
yeah,
yeah. Anyway, it was cool
love it.
I was like, oh, I just got a big ass invitation. That invitation was like a flashing
Yeah,
neon sign.
that's
What
a big
was
one.
the last, like, big invitation you were like, "Holy shit," that happened for you?
Honest probably the Empower breakfast from you because I'm who am I? Like, I'm gonna be doing like, you feel this way, I think you
I
like,
know that feeling.
every month I'm gonna be putting on this big event, and there has been 0 time I mean, maybe I'll get a little nervous when it's time to do it, but, like, there has been 0 time where I'm like, "Ugh, ugh, that doesn't feel good."
No, me
It still
too.
feels like it feels like work, but it feels like fun.
Yes. No, it still feels fun even when I said that before, but now it's, like, here and,
Yeah.
like, the ticket sales are happening and it's like,
Mhm.
"Oh, I have to repeat this again next month." Like, there's no it's not
Yeah,
like it's gonna be done and then we're done, like, it just keeps going, and I'm like, "Oh,"
yeah,
but it's imposter syndrome. It's
yep,
not
yeah,
like I don't want it anymore. So, I have
yeah.
all the tools to work myself through that. Oh, speaking of tools, okay, you're gonna like this. Do you watch Shrinking? Have you ever seen
No,
Shrinking
but I
on Apple
you're
TV?
like the 3rd person that told me about that.
Okay, it's hilarious and it's
Yeah,
very, very good. And if you like those kinds of things, I highly
yeah,
encourage you to watch it. Harrison Ford is takes the cake and as this role is amazing. But as a therapist, he gives somebody a tool that's a very NLP like tool.
yeah,
And I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do that. So when you are afraid of
uh-huh,
something, just sit quietly and picture that fear coming up like a big black cloud
mhm.
and run into it and see what would happen if you ran into it,
Ooh, that gave
right?
me, like, a
And
jolt.
let it right, let it dissipate. And then you could see what else could happen, right? But like fear is uh my fear gives me power
Ooh, I like that.
kind of thing.
Yeah,
I liked it too. I was like, oh, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna
great
play with
reframe.
that.
Like, that's a really good reframe. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I just I love reframing. Reframing can just sometimes be the thing that shifts everything for somebody, you know? I love
Absolutely.
yeah, I got
Reframing changes everything. It's part of my Brave method. Yeah.
yeah, so perfect. I got an invitation today that was a definite no.
Oh, tell me more, tell me more.
Well, it's just well, they're probably not watching, but like, um, I used to be in another industry. Okay, I'm
Yes.
trying to keep it broad, but
Yeah.
and somebody, I'm not in the industry anymore, and um, someone asked me if I wanted to start something with them in that industry, and I was like, absolutely, that sounds terrible. No. And I know them and they love me. Like I love them. So I was able to just be like, no. And they're like,
Yes.
okay, just thought I would ask.
Yeah.
Just gotta
Yeah.
like, but
I
it's
get that.
so good to know that no, you know, you know?
I do know. Well, and it's interesting. So when we go back to thinking about Empower Breakfast,
Mhm.
that's event planning, and that was
Mhm.
my previous life was
Yeah.
event planning. What I
Mhm.
don't want to do, I don't want to be an event planner again. I love you all very, very much, and you have all my respect and admiration, but I don't want to
Yeah.
do that again. Um,
Yep.
and so I've had to reason like, well, A, I have this skill set. It's a very easy, quick
Mhm.
skill set for me to pull from,
Mhm.
but I don't want to go back into this. Like, I don't want to be an event planner. I don't
All
want to
the
do
time.
weddings. I don't want to do that. Yeah.
No. Yeah, yeah. That's very much what this role would be like, just like all day, every day in it. No life, no work life balance. No.
No, no, no. I love that. I love the knowing that invitation was not for you.
It was not for me.
Your spleen was like, hell no.
Hell no. I guess that, yeah, like it was a literal hell no from the spleen.
I love that so much. Good for
Yep.
you.
Well, speaking of Empower Breakfast, I didn't answer you back because I was like, I had terrible travel on the way home, but
I
I
saw
went,
that. But you had a
yeah,
great meal.
I had a great meal in New York at the LaGuardia airport.
There you go.
Everything is better in New York, um, food wise. I've heard Chicago is really good too. So,
It is.
but I went to experience their breakfast, and I mean, it was literally what I thought it was going to be, and I still felt like really excited. I was like, I can totally do this. I can do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and then when I got this morning, I went to look at a venue and walked through this venue, and I think it's going to be really good. Just waiting for like the money side of things to come back, like here's how much it'll cost.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be really good. I felt really good about it, so now I'm even
Exciting.
more excited about that too. But just really feel like when not that everything always has to be easy, but like when things are just kind of clicking and things are like people are
Yeah.
excited also to be a part of it, you're like, okay, this
Yeah.
is
They're in
happening.
flow.
It feels like it's in a flow. It's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. I love
Oh,
that.
yeah,
That's so good. I'm so glad. I'm sorry you had icky travel though.
that's
But
okay.
do you ever think as a projector that stuff like that is like, I just need to slow you down. I just need
Yeah,
to slow down.
yeah, for sure. I mean, I was able to, I reflected a lot. I got some good downloads on the airplane too, because the first flight from Omaha I went back to, to New York. There was no Wi-Fi, and I didn't bring a book or anything. So I was just like for a few hours. Mm,
Wow. First of all, I can't
mm,
imagine traveling without a book, but
yeah.
also I appreciate you probably just needed solitude,
I
quiet.
was, I was totally gonna like I had stuff to get done and like type up and
Of
do,
course
but
you did. Of course you did.
it was like, no, you're going to sit here and you're going to let your brain think. There was no
Wow.
TV, there was no anything.
Wow.
So yeah, yeah,
Well, so what did that feel like? You had what, 2 hours of
yeah. 2 hours of sitting.
quiet?
I kind of dozed a little bit. I did put a subliminal in my ear. I couldn't really hear it. I didn't want to turn it up too high, just to have something going on. It felt weird. It felt
Yeah.
unsettling for a while, but also calm. You know,
Yeah, I mean, we just do not live in that world anymore. That used to be the way everybody traveled on an airplane all the
yeah.
time.
You would just,
Yeah.
or you would
Or
talk to somebody, like a
yeah,
neighbor, or you would read a
yeah,
book, maybe, or a newspaper. Um,
yeah.
But yeah, and then I had 3
Wh-
hours in New York just sitting there. I
Oof.
didn't sit I walked a lot. I ate, like, the best Caesar salad with grilled shrimp I've ever had in my life, and a glass of Prosecco.
I know exactly which restaurant
Yeah,
at LaGuardia that was because
yeah,
I think I've had it before. Yeah.
it was elite. It was so good.
But we are not, as a society, we are not very good at sitting.
Nope.
without anything to do. I lose my fucking mind. My partner will drive in the car without any sound for
Mm,
hours. Um,
very
I,
rarely
f-
will I do that. Not
I,
for
f-
hours.
I feel like I should choose silence more often than I do.
I do too. And that's probably why that happened.
I think it's why I like meditating. And I had made a
Mm,
comment to I had not done meditate. I had only meditated once in the past week, this last Tuesday, and I said to my
mhm.
daughter, I can tell. I
Yeah.
can tell that I haven't because I'm on edge. I'm short tempered. My body literally feels sort of like stabby.
Yeah.
And she asked me, like, what does meditating do for you that's good? And I said, well, first of all, the science shows us, and I know this to be true, that meditating gives us more energy
Yeah.
because we practice those reserves. Um, and that it helps me think more clearly. It helps me allow space for the big ideas or to what I want to let pass or let clear.
Hmm.
It stimulates my parasympathetic nervous system. I can feel myself calming. So it was really interesting
Yeah.
to have that conversation with her.
Yeah. I think it's something that so I'm trying to master these, like not trying, but like, I will be mastering certain things. That's the plan, the path for the next year is mastering my time, my energy, my boundaries. Like not that I don't feel pressure about like I have to do all of it at the same time all the time, but I'm just kind of gaining the awareness of the things that I would like to shift and focus on first. And one of those things is more like the boundaries, saying cut out the time that I'm spending on things that that just don't feel I don't need to be doing, or they just don't feel aligned right now, and
Yeah.
not filling that time, but like freaking being. Like I need to be
It's
more.
so hard to do that.
I know, but that's why I'm gonna master it.
You're
That's
going to
why it's
master
like
it.
a
And if
path.
you want to, I know you will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to, I know you will.
Yeah.
Really
So
cool.
what are you gonna do this week for your projector self? Like, how are you setting yourself up for success in your definition of success this week?
Yeah, it's a big question this week because I'm in hustle mode, which I
Yeah,
have to let myself be in for my
yeah,
breakfast. But I know that if I can just get my shit done and in order, then I'll be able to rest.
hmm,
So that's the first thing is like
hmm,
I need to put my run of show together. I need to, just check in with everybody and touch base on everything and get my
hmm.
printed stuff. Once I can have all that stuff put together, I'm going to be a little bit more restful.
Yes.
Um, and then it's been 2 weeks, 2 full weeks since I've done any of my metaphysical science stuff. And I deeply desire getting back on track with that because I enjoy it so much. So prioritizing those two things, I think this
Yeah,
week. Yeah. How about you?
that'll be good. Okay, great question. I'm glad I asked and I'm like, you have a plan. Okay, well, let's make a plan up together. My mom's coming into town on Thursday. We have recitals, rehearsals. We're all day Saturday. It's going to be a thing. So I'm actually, okay, here's what it is. Really taking the time that I would like scroll, even for fun. I'm not necessarily like scrolling and like going like not doom scrolling, but just like scrolling and like laughing at hilarious because that's what I like to watch, funny reels or whatever. I'm actually focusing that time back into I'm actually going to create. Like I will create the things. So creating more is just going to feel good for my system. Like I'm the creator, I get to do this, and not draining myself with all the extra, even though it's fun sometimes, it can be draining as well. That and taking these little breaks for little bits of movement, micro movements.
Yes.
Stretching, I went for a little bike ride today, walking on the walking pad, but just nothing strenuous, like just a little extra movement.
Good.
Focus and intention.
Focus and
Woosah.
intention. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, I'm glad I get to spend part of my birthday with you.
I
Makes me
know,
happy.
I'm so excited. Happy birthday.
Thank you. I didn't get to the letters thing. Um, I had wanted everybody who knew me to write me a letter for my birthday, and I dropped that hint to a number of different people, and nobody ran with it, and it
Oh,
felt uncomfortable
oh,
asking for it myself. I was like, "Hey, tell me all the nice things about me." So maybe for 55 or 51 or whatever,
yeah,
like
or
another time.
yeah. 51. 51's a good year too.
Why not?
Why
What
not?
difference does it make?
That's good. It's all good.
Why do we always wait for these big milestones? But thank you so much. You guys, thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Um, I love that we do this, Natalie.
Me too. This was fun. I'll see you
It's
next
good.
week.
I'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.